We kick off this show with some MLB price check. DraftKings contributors Kenny Ducey and Stan Son. I need your favorite plays at the following positions on tonight's massive, ginormous, thick 14-game Major League slate. Kenny, start me off with your pitcher over 8K.
Yeah, it's really hard not to love Tyler Glasnow in this spot at 10.1K. He's a heavy favorite here with the Tampa Bay Rays. They have a 61% implied chance of winning here, according to the odds. Toronto ranks 21st in WRC plus against righties. And this is an insane pitcher at the moment. He has a 40% strikeout rate, an insane 1.24 expected ERA, 1.3 or 0.138, excuse me, expected batting average. The guy's just been absolutely on fire, picked up right where he left off from last year. And again, in a great matchup against the Toronto Blue Jays team that is still sleepwalking, still has yet to find their footing. I think that he once again dominates. I have no problems paying up here to 10.1K, considering all the value bats we got on the slate.
Yeah, one of three pitchers north of 10K on this slate. Stan, who's your pitcher over 8K?
Yeah, sorry to be boring, but I'm going Jacob deGrom. 48.6% strikeout rate, 4.3% walk rate. I mean, that's insane. Who does that? A 23.2% swinging strike rate. You know, he averages 98.7 miles per hour on the fastball. The FIP is 1.34 on the season. In 3 games, he's produced 24.4, 41, and 43.1 DK fantasy points. One of those games was in Coors Field. Washington, they're the only team to be projected for scoring fewer than 3 runs at 2.5. No Juan Soto in the lineup. They're 20th in ISO against right-handed pitching. I mean, the stars are aligned.
Yeah, highest price player on the slate at 10.9, dude. So with both of you guys giving us pitchers north of $10,000, I need a pitcher under 8K, Stan.
I'm going Dylan Cease. You know, the walks have been his big bugaboo this year. He's got 9 in 14 innings. So, you know, he can get into trouble if the control is not there. But, you know, that may not matter if he can just strike everyone out. 11.6 swinging strike rate. Texas, they're first in strikeouts against right-handed pitching. They're also only 22nd in ISO. Cease has only allowed 1 home run this season. The BABIP's an elevated 368, so he's actually had some, you know, bad misfortune on this side.
Kenny, what do you got?
I don't know if you can hear me because I'm frozen up right now. Can you? Because I have
I can hear you. Yeah, and it looks like you're unfrozen now on Zoom.
Oh, beautiful. All right, well, I have a great play here. It's Mike Minor at $6,800 against Detroit. The Tigers are dead last in WRC plus the lefties at 41. This number continues to creep down. The Tigers started off hot. I was the biggest Tigers guy around, and then it got worse, and it's continued to get worse. They especially can't hit lefties because they got a lot of lefties in that lineup. They don't have Miguel Cabrera right now. It should be 55 degrees in Detroit. That only helps Mike Minor. He has a lot of great numbers against the current Detroit Tigers dating back to 2015, a 202 expected batting average. He's been great at limiting hard contact this year, 71st percentile in average exit velocity. I just think Mike Minor's in a really good spot here. He's got the splits advantage. He should have a little bit of a weather advantage, and he's been pitching really well. And again, you know, Detroit's not going to scare you. 6,900 is really, really cheap, and he's going to let you get a DeGrom or Glasnow in your lineup.
Okay, how about a hitter over 4K, Kenny?
You know what? I'm not looking to spend. I'm going to save my money, you know, for later on Friday night. I'm not looking to spend too much here on the hitters. Mitch Haniger at $4,100. That's all I need. He is crushing the ball this year. He's got the splits advantage. He's got really the everything advantage when you look at Martin Perez in a hitter's ballpark pitching for the Boston Red Sox. He is awful. A 358 WOBA against lefties. Haniger has. He carries that into this game. And again, he had the homer last night with 2 walks. He faced Urias and Dustin May from the Los Angeles Dodgers the 2 games before that. They're very difficult pitches to hit against, so I'm not really knocking him for that. Before then, he was red hot. He seemed to pick right back up after you know, seeing a downtick in competition level in terms of the pitchers he's facing. Perez, top 10% of the league in hard hit rate the last 2 years. Very low whiff rate. He's not going to strike a lot of guys out. Mitch Haniger at the top of that lineup for the Seattle Mariners, who are red hot at the plate right now. I think he's going to be involved in plenty of run scoring events tonight. I think he gets a couple hits. He gets a couple RBIs. He scores a couple runs. He has a monster game here, and it's hard to not love a guy hitting this well at just $4,100.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Almost like a value there. What do you have for a hitter over 4K, Stan?
I'm going all the way up top, just like for pitchers. I'm going Freddie Freeman. He's tough, 6,200, but he has 5 home runs on the season. Only a 180 BABIP, so some good times are on the forecast. He's a career 236 ISO against right-handed pitching. He's facing Luke Weaver. He's given up 4 home runs in 16.2 innings. He's been very fortunate. He has a 196 BABIP. He's stranded 85% of batters. His career rate is 70%. The fifth is 4.89 versus 3.78 ERA. Average exit velocity is 94 miles per hour. So hard hit rate 48%. He gives up a career 4.48 slugging against lefties. And also, if they can knock him out of the game, Arizona, if they can get to the bullpen, they have the ninth highest FIP in the league.
All right, give me a bat under 4K, Stan.
All right, I'm going all the way down here. Raimel Tapia kind of really stood out to me when I first looked at the slate. He's batting leadoff. He's in Coors Field. He has some pop, legitimate speed on the base pass, so he has multiple ways to produce those fantasy goodies. He's only struck out 10.6% of the time. The BABIP is only 278, so he has a career 348 mark. So some good times should be on the horizon. Velasquez, he is worse against lefties and righties, so it's good times.
Kenny, save us a little more cash.
Yeah, Tapia was the guy I had written down as well with the 9 DKFP per game over the last 4. Obviously Stan mentioned that there's a little bit of a splits advantage here, but I mean, you should just know coming into this game that Vince Velasquez is an awful, awful pitcher. He's not been good at all. His career's been a disaster. He walks everybody. He gives up a lot of hard contact. Behind him is a terrible bullpen in Philadelphia as well. So Tapia at 3,000 is definitely the best value of the day, I think, leading off in Coors. But since, I'll give you someone else because that's who you want. I'll also give you someone else from the Seattle Mariners in a great matchup against a terrible pitcher in Martin Perez. And that is Ty France at $3,800. Ty France, I can't decide whether or not I like Mitch Haniger or Ty France more on this Seattle Mariners team. The good news is they both hit 1 and 2 in this lineup. I've stacked them before. I'll probably stack them again here in a great matchup here against a lefty. France and Haniger both mash righties. Specifically, France has had a lot of success this year, over a 300 batting average against lefties. So I think he's got a great matchup here as well at $3,800.
Yeah, Ty France ended Nick Pavetta's no-hitter in like the 6th inning last night. Slate approved pick, Kenny. Favorite sports book bet on tonight's slate? Hook me up.
Yeah. I think I could have ended Nick Pavetta's no-hitter. I mean, who is he to have a no-hitter through 6 innings? They're just letting anybody nowadays have a no-hitter through 6 innings. I like 2 bets here. I'm going to give you 2 bets. The Tigers-Royals under 8.5. I mentioned Mike Minor has a great advantage against this Detroit Tigers team that can't hit lefties. Casey Mize, I don't think he gets enough credit here. He's young. He's talented. He's going to have some bumps along the road in his first couple years, but I think he's good enough to hold this total under as well. I also like the Pirates money line here, because JT Brubaker, low-key, is a very good pitcher. I think he's very underrated. Plus 140 is a great price to pay. To fade J Happ, or J.A. Happ, as his name really should be, and back JT Brubaker here, I think that's a pretty good value. Also, some great bats in that Pirates lineup that are really heating up. Phillip Evans, Colin Moran's legit. I think those 2 both cash.
Stan, what do you got? Favorite bet on the DK Sportsbook?
I'm going New York Mets over 4.5 runs. I'm not a believer in Eric Fed, and the Washington bullpen is gettable. I don't even know if it's Fed or Fetty. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. So some of his numbers on the season are pretty good. 11.91 K per 9, 3.17 FIP, 387 BABIP. But if you dig in a little closer, the swinging strike rate is only 6.7%. Average exit velocity is 92 miles per hour. He's given up 17.4 degree launch angle, 15.6% barrel rate, and a 40.6% hard contact rate. The Washington Penn give up the 8th highest FIP. The wind is blowing out to right at 16 miles per hour today. And for the Mets, I mean, their lineup, Lindor, McNeil, and Conforto, they've all been ice cold to start the season. They're really, they're good hitters, so they're not going to be like that all season. So, they're going to get hot at some point. I can see that happening today.
You're a brave man. You're a really brave man to back the Mets on a day that Jacob deGrom is pitching. They average 1 run a game when he pitches.
I know. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it today.